Hello, my name is Bruce Wayne and welcome to another one of my adventures. So the last time I told you that we were living in Rock Hall, and of course we were there for about a year and a half. And during that time, one of the memories that I have is going to Locke's Bush. Now, what does that mean? Back in the day, I think a lot of people who are not Jamaicans don't understand that marijuana, weed, ganja, like they call it in Jamaica, is not legal. And not only is it not legal back then, it's actually frowned upon. So, for the people living in the middle class neighborhood, I didn't see them smoking weed. Not to say that they didn't do it maybe quietly, but you just didn't see them doing it at all. It was frowned upon. The only people that you saw that was smoking weed were the dreadlocks guys. And the reason why they did it and it was acceptable for them is because it was a part of their religion. They smoked it because it was a part of the ritual for their religion. So that was acceptable. But as far as the average everyday person smoking weed, it was not actually acceptable, and it was very illegal at that time. However, when we were up in Rock Hall, I remember Locks, who is a dreadlocks guy, and he actually had a Rastafarian, and he invited my brother and Michael and I to go to his bush, to go to his farm basically. And so when we got there, it was like weed everywhere. As far as the eye could see, the weeds were tall, they were taller than we were. And so what was interesting, and then he decided to smoke some of that, and he had a bong, and the bong was basically a coconut with a hose in it, etc., and the pipe on top and some water in there, the typical bong that people think of today. And, but when he smoked that and he puffed and exhaled, there was so much smoke that it's like you could hardly see his head because there was just so much smoke. I also saw both my uncles smoking weed as well, and they usually smoke from the bong, and they typically didn't smoke from a spliff per se. If they had a spliff, it was huge. It was a freaking huge spliff that they smoked, which is why when I came to the United States and these young boys, they were smoking, they offered me to smoke weed, and they were handing out this little thing, and they were sharing this little thing, and they were sticking it in their mouth, and then they were handing it to you want to smoke it? I'm going, just like Crocodile Dundee, that's not a knife, that's a knife. So it's like that's not a joint. A joint should be like this big because they're big and thick as a cigar. So that's what I was used to seeing, and for whatever reason, because we just didn't have an interest, maybe because my father smoked, we just never had an interest in smoking weed.